Do you people ever find anything that's ridiculous? Do you really think men can get pregnant? That kind of stuff. And I understand that a trans woman can get pregnant. That's different than a man getting
Bill Maher absolutely destroys this woke idiot live on his show. She is Jane Fonda, the same woman who went on The View and said it's okay to murder the conservatives.
I'm sorry. That is...
No, you know this about California. Come on.
No, I don't.
Well,
I'm sorry, I don't.
You don't? You've never heard that California is overtaxed and overregulated? That we are a one-party state where there's sort of no checks on that sort of extreme leftism. And that, what do you think?
I don't for a minute consider California a state that is extreme leftist. Not at all, not any way.
Well, that shows where your politics are. That's not where mine are.
Okay, so Bill is simply pointing out that California, the land Fonda glorifies, is a one-party state, drowning in overregulation, crime, and homelessness. And she looks him dead in the eye and says, I don't consider California to be extreme left. That line says everything. It's not that she's lying, it's that she's so far inside her Hollywood bubble that she genuinely can't see what everyone else can. This isn't the debate about politics anymore. It's a reality check for a woman who's lived in luxury so long she's forgotten how normal people live. She's sitting in her mansion completely oblivious to the world outside.
I'm sorry to tell you, is because that, I've been saying this on my show, there is two parts of the Trump coalition. There's about a third of this country who always loved the hard right wing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Birch Society. We're old enough to remember the John Birch Society.
I had family members who were John Birch.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh.
And these were people who were happy when Kennedy got assassinated. They became the birthers. They became the Tea Party. There's about a third of this country that's very hard right.
Mm-hmm.
Of course they love Trump. When he left office, he had an approval rating of 34%. So he really only had those people.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he now tied? Because the other part of the coalition are people who, they don't really like him that much.
Mm-mm.
They just think the far left has gone so nutty on so many issues.
That's what they're being told.
That's what
By people like you.
Because it's true. You think the far left does nothing crazy?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Oh, well then.
But I don't know. Who is the far left? What do you mean when you say far left?
I mean, I could give you a million examples.
Yeah, well, give me one.
This is where Maher flips the script completely. He explains that Trump's rise wasn't because people loved him, it was because the far left went insane. He says there's a third of the country that's hard right, but the rest, they just think the far left has gone so nutty they have no choice. And Jane's response? That's what they're being told by people like you. Except it's not. It's basic reality. Parents don't want drag queens in classrooms. People don't want criminals released without bail. They don't want to be told men can have babies. But when Maher tries to explain that, Fonda plays dumb, the classic Hollywood defense. Oh, who's the far left? Name one. Lady, look in the mirror. You are the far left. You're the blueprint. The one who sided with communists during Vietnam. The one who went on national TV saying conservatives should be murdered. You want names? Start with Hanoi Jane.
Okay, the NAACP.
You think the NAACP is far left?
Could I finish my sentence?
Yes.
You asked me for an example.
Yeah.
The NAACP last year, travel advisory, that's like the State Department does to go to, I'm sure when you went to Vietnam, they were advising you not to. There's a war on it.
I didn't talk to them. I don't have no.
I know, but a travel advisory.
Yeah.
Today we have them for very dangerous countries.
Yeah.
Don't go to North Korea. Don't go to Iran.
Yeah.
You know where they issued a travel advisory for black people not to go?
Yeah.
Florida. Every day there's stories like that that just makes people roll their eyes and go, are you people nuts? Even if they don't matter that much, I don't think one person listened to this and thought, I can't go to Florida.
Now, Maher, to his credit, doesn't back down. He's calm, surgical. He brings up the NAACP issuing travel advisories for Florida, saying it's unsafe for black Americans to visit. Fonda looks confused again, as if she's never even heard of it. She blinks and says, oh, I didn't know that. How can someone this politically active be this uninformed? Because she doesn't want to know. She spent decades inside a media bubble where the left can do no wrong. As one commenter perfectly said, Jane wants to use her ignorance as proof the problem doesn't exist. That's not innocence, that's denial. And Maher sees it instantly.
They just suggest something to the average person, which I completely understand, which is, wow, do you people ever find anything that's ridiculous? Do you really think men can get pregnant? That kind of stuff. And I understand that a trans woman can get pregnant. That's different than a man getting pregnant. If like insist on blurring that line as if that's some sort of reasonable social cause, as opposed to just being for having full rights, respect, and protection for trans people. We get that.
So I've never heard about men getting pregnant. I've never heard about this argument. It must be some part of what you call the far left that is so minuscule that I, who am...
No, Jane,
What?
It's not minuscule, and I'm sorry, you can't throw this back on us. I assume it's because you are locked into media that just never wants anyone in their audience to know anything sketchy about the blue team.
Well,
And that's...
I mean, I don't know. I read 2 papers, and maybe I don't. I should watch Fox News.
No,
I guess.
I don't watch that. That's too far. But you don't have to. I'm not going to torture you.
Jane tries to justify her ignorance. She goes, maybe I should watch Fox News. It's the kind of fake humility you hear from people who already think they're better than you. You can feel the tension. Maher's tone isn't mocking anymore. It's pity. He's looking at someone who spent her entire life preaching moral superiority, yet doesn't know the first thing about what's actually happening outside of Beverly Hills. And that's what makes this conversation so iconic. For decades, people like Jane Fonda have looked down at ordinary Americans, calling them racist, sexist, and backward, while living in gated communities guarded by private security and driven by chauffeurs to climate change galas. It's the perfect encapsulation of the Hollywood elite. They scream defund the police from their mansions, then call 911 when someone jumps their fence. They cry tax the rich from their $25 million estates. They tell working class families to stop being bigots while never sending their own kids to public school.
That certainly has been the history of this country, was police who were all too willing to shoot black people. So defund the police, though, was not a good idea. And you know who mostly didn't think it was a good idea was black people, because they want police in their neighborhoods, probably more than we need them in ours. But the Republicans tried to catch the Democrats with this, and they put this on, they brought it up in Congress.
Yeah.
And all the Democrats voted against it. The Democratic politicians were not for defunding the police. It's that radical fringe that has captured a lot of the media, academia, some of these cultural institutions that are not liberal anymore by my old school liberalism. The ACLU was all about free speech. They don't really believe in it anymore. They believe, in one of their chief people who is trans said, I will die on this hill of banning this book.
Fonda isn't arguing facts, she's arguing feelings. Her worldview was forged in the 1960s during protests and anti-war marches, and she's still stuck there. Meanwhile, Bill Maher, a lifelong liberal, is sitting across from her basically saying what conservatives have said for a decade. The far left has lost its mind. So here's the takeaway. This wasn't just a podcast, it was a funeral for the old Hollywood left. Jane Fonda sat there pretending she didn't know the far left existed, but deep down you could see it. She knew. She just didn't have the courage to say it out loud. So let me know what's your opinion on all of this, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more stuff like this, and of course for more sanity. I'll meet you in the next video.